Well, hello and welcome to my new car. This one is electric, so although it has a gear selector here, you can't move it around sideways and forwards and backwards as much as in a manual gearbox car. Also, there is no clutch pedal, so there's not really anything to do with my left foot. Altogether, driving is much easier in about 20 to 25 different ways, and they're all listed on my news page, which you can get to using the footer link at any page of my website, trc11.com. So let's take it for a drive. I've got a key on me, so I don't need to insert a key anywhere. In fact, there is nowhere to put it. I just need to press the start button while holding my right foot on the foot brake. I'm getting a warning lamp, not sure why that is. I'm still learning my way around the car. I've got 33 miles of driving range left. Let's get rid of the radio and let's squeeze the button in at the side and pull this lever back to D for drive. Might as well put my seatbelt on as well, since I'm going into the outside world, and for that matter take my glasses off. Let's put those there. And now when I take my foot off the foot brake, nothing happens, because although we're in drive, the parking brake is still on. That's a little switch down here these days instead of a big lever. But when I press the accelerator pedal, the brakes come off automatically. That little red lamp's gone off and the car starts moving without any sound, because until it starts moving at walking pace, it doesn't make any sound, appreciable sound outside, apart from that, which is warning me that there's something close over there on the right hand corner. And I haven't learned yet quite how big this car is compared to the grey one, which is sitting on the drive over there. Those are the brakes just squeaking. Drop the window a little bit. I'm hot, I've been sweeping up leaves, and that's why the inside of the windows are steaming up. So let's navigate down onto the road. At this low speed, it's fine to be using one hand on the steering wheel. Strange sort of flattened off squaring wheel, but pleasant enough to use. And I like the way they've kept this metal part at the bottom that helps you to locate where the bottom is. And here, not doing anything with my left foot, I'm just pressing a little bit more firmly with my right foot. Car picks up speed. Got a little bit of animation going on the instrument cluster, just to confirm that I'm drawing power from the battery. I'm going to turn the fan on one notch and put the temperature up. Let's say 15 will do. So I've done the mirrors, do the signal, very pleasant pulsing sort of sound, and I'll wait for this car to go past. A nice feature about this car is that you can actually see the corners of the bonnet from where I'm sitting. I've got the seat fairly low down, but it does help you to judge where the front is. Let's turn the fan up a little bit more. No, that's temperature. I want that one, just to clear the front screen. There's probably a switch along here that does that. Yes, there it is. Let's press that. Put the window up. I'll clear the rear screen. No, it's clearing itself, that's fine. So gently applying foot brake here, bring it to a stop. If I'm going to be here more than a handful of seconds, then pulling that little switch to bring that red light on, and I get a white message that appears to confirm that the parking brake on. Quite a nice 3D impression there in front. The screen's clear, so I think we'll turn down the fan. It's nicest when the fan's off completely, because there's just no sound from the motor in the car at all. You can tell what colour the car is by the colour of the hat I'm wearing, if you can see that. I'm not sure if you can. So once again, just pressing the accelerator, off moves the car. Nothing to do with the left foot at all. It'll be interesting to hear what sort of sound comes out on the recording. No gears at all, building up speed, 29 miles an hour, big digital display in front of me. D next to it confirms I'm in drive, which means the car speed forwards. We've got a reverse position which you get to by a little perversely pushing that gear selector forwards, but we've also got a B setting, so if I pull back, pressing in the side button, pull back, nothing appears to change apart from the letter B appears here, and whenever I take my foot off the accelerator, you'll notice that this blue graphic, so here I am coming off the accelerator, turns green, and some of the physical movement, the energy in the motion of the car is recouped, is harvested back into the battery. So it's a very economic way of travelling. I don't know how much is going to come out of the instruments because of the bright low sun in front, which I left when I did for my 4 o'clock appointment. Yes, quite awkward driving conditions, going absolutely straight at the sun on a cloudless day towards the horizon. Just as well I've got a sun visor and learned where to get hold of it. So, shall I go? I'll go straight ahead. So, do my usual mirror checks. Coming off the gas, the car slows as if I'm braking lightly. Now I can put my foot down, and even in the normal driving mode, the car picks up speed very respectably. There are 3 driving modes. There's Eco, and there's Sport, and there's Normal. I think when you switch it on, it always starts in Normal. I've yet to learn those sorts of niceties, having only made 2 journeys in it so far. So the mode button is just rearwards of the parking brake. If I press that, graphic changes. We're now in Eco mode, and my range has gone up from 29 miles to 31 miles. So at the moment, it's a cold day. The battery's going to be having to work harder to deliver power. But I'm making the most of the range of the car by driving it in B mode, the engine braking mode, B for braking, regenerative mode, they can't call it R because it would get confused with reverse, and being in Eco driving mode as well as gear selector mode. Stop-start traffic like here is an absolute breeze. I'm applying a tiny bit of pressure onto the accelerator pedal. Now I come off completely, the car continues to creep forwards. I'm now covering the brake, gently pressing the brake, coming to almost a stop, easing off the brake, car creeps forwards, pressing the brake lightly again, still brings on the brake signals in the usual way, checking there's no activity at the crossing, we're about to use the crossing, accelerating gently, off we move, looking well ahead, slight rumble from the tyres on the car, but other than that, not really any sound. On the motorway you get some air noise going past, but the bodywork is fairly aerodynamic and there's not a lot of that. Automatic headlights, they've come on, I notice. Got automatic wipers, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain, so I've not switched those on. Looking out for an opportunity to move out onto the roundabout, the car coming in from the right. Possibility of pausing on the roundabout if necessary. Gap in the traffic there, so nice and gently picking up speed so that I'm not straining the battery too much. My range is back up to 32 now. Using the soft touch indicator where I just press lightly on the stalk and then let go, and I get 3 flashes just like the previous car. And there's not enough space for our direction of traffic to get through, looking about 6 cars in front. So while we're waiting, I will put the parking brakes on. I think that applies to all 4 wheels instead of just the rear 2. So that if we get hit from behind, we don't get pushed forwards. Getting my foot over the accelerator, pressing the accelerator, parking brake goes off, away we roll. I see that little white learner car that's just gone past is called brake free. Pun on words, I imagine. Maybe I should call my driving school clutch free. Once again, assessing just how wide things are, because I'm not quite sure about this new body shape. Little bleepers going off. It has got more proximity sensors at the back than previously, 6 this time instead of 4, and also I've got them at the front, which makes me think that maybe the front bumper does stick out a little bit more than on the previous car, and that's why they've built in that aid. Rides the bumps very well, pop holes. I think the tyres are wider than the previous car. Certainly holds on well when you're going round corners. So almost at the end of my journey, keeping the car rolling, but there isn't really so much need now that I don't have to worry about putting the clutch down, moving into gear 1 and getting ready with the biting point to move off. The car is very unlikely to roll backwards down a hill unless it's an extremely steep hill, and there might even be a I know there's a hill assist feature in this car, but there might even be a sensor that makes sure that the car continues to hold its position or to creep forward, having sensed what the slope is. Okay, let's reverse it alongside that little white car, nothing behind. Don't know what the reference points are, so I'm just going to put the bum of the car where I want it to go. Visibility is pretty good. Can still use my mirrors to see how close I'm curving to the front driver's corner of the white car. It's probably going to go beep. Got a camera in this model. I don't tend to use that. I prefer to use what I can see outside, but also listening for the proximity sensors. And there we are, all nice and straight. So press the park button, take my foot off the foot brake or the accelerator. Don't even have to apply the parking brake. I can just press the start stop button, a bit like Microsoft Windows, and the car shuts itself down. And it's as easy as that.